All right, so we injected the stem cell derived exosomes in your hip, and what we're going to do is give decompression and traction. Basically, pull the head of the femur, distract it from the capsule, so it creates negative pressure to draw in those stem cells. Okay. And when you decompress the hip, it's going to draw in more blood flow, which has growth factors. Okay. It's just going to make a very successful regenerative program. So make sure you tie it hip level. Okay. And of course, you have to find something that's stable. Oh, yeah. Not everyone has a power rack in their backyard, right?
I have one in my garage.
Yeah. So good. Perfect. So just like when I did at the office, you want to put it high in the groin, right? And you kind of walk out, and you got to kind of play around with the tension, and see how, as this is pulling that way, right? Distracting your hip, I'm pushing counter pressure. Yeah, so you're gonna get more leverage, and I like to push my knee into my hand. Yeah. It's called resistive passive stretch. It kind of relaxes the muscle. So I'll like push for 3 seconds and hold for 10. Yeah. Push for 3, hold for 10. Okay. And then you kind of play around with the tension to your ability. And you can get more thicker,
You want me to try it?
Yeah, well, this is a pretty light resistance, but again, it is your left hip, so this is perfect. So put it high in the groin. Put some tension so it stays there, yeah. And just walk out that way as much as you can. But I want you to be more perpendicular to where it's pointing. Yeah, this is perpendicular to here. And walk that way. Yeah. And you're gonna squat down and put this knee like this. Go ahead and you can kind of walk yourself out that way. Remove this plate. So make sure this is more perpendicular to there. So you want to move this way. So this is perpendicular. Yeah, that way the pull is perpendicular. Now you can kind of walk that way to get the tension you want. Move your whole body laterally like a crab. Laterally. Get this guy over here.
And then it's like
yeah. Do you feel a good stretch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So push 3 seconds against your hand resistance.
Okay.
That'll deactivate this muscle. Now stretch for 10. Yeah. Push 3. Distract for 10. Any pain or pinching?
No.
Feels good, right? Then you're in the right space. And you can get more like powerful bands. Let me show you.
Okay. I got it.
So you could start out with that. That's pretty light to medium resistance. And then your green, you could progress up like that. Okay. And the second movement is we're going to activate the glutes so they fire. So you have good mechanics when you have to squat and things like that. It also helps, kind of decompress the hip a little. Right. So pretend like you're pulling the ground apart. Let me get in the camera. Yeah, pretend like you're pulling the ground apart. Put this above your knees like that. Yeah. And that'll kind of give you traction to the hip, activate the glutes. And I want you to go down as far as you can without pain. So I'm pushing the ground apart. You see my knees go out like that?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really distracting the hips, firing the glutes for good biomechanics when you do have to pick stuff up, right?
Right.
So I like to just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll show you at the side. Feet are parallel, about shoulder width. Activate the glutes, pull the ground apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're strengthening all those stabilizers of the hip.
All right, okay.
So let's try that. why don't you go ahead and put it above your kneecaps. All right, shoulder width. Pull the ground apart because your knees are kind of caving in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that?
These are more parallel, perfectly parallel. Pull the ground apart. There you go. Your hands forward for balance like this. Yeah. As far as you can. And break it down into, instead of one continuous movement, just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So 1, 2, pull that ground apart. 3, 4, 5. Stand up straight, lock your knees out. See, that's out, pull it more parallel. There you go. Now to really pull your hips apart. 1, pull that ground apart. 3, deep as you can. 4, 5. Now face the camera. Okay, parallel. Do what I do. Lock those thumbs. So this knee's still caving in. Okay, stand up straight. Contract your glutes. Pull the ground apart. Pull the floor apart the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and this will help your knee alignment because your little knock-kneed.
Yeah.
It's going to help your mechanics. It's a
Yeah.
closed chain activity. Any hip pain when you're deep in squat?
A little
Okay.
bit.
So you got to stop right before the
Okay.
hip pain and work. You'll get deeper range of motion. So let's start out with those 2 movements,
Okay.
and I'll show you some advanced movements when your hip gets better. Okay?
All right.